Back in November, the Vikings lost a thriller in their previous game against the Packers. Can Green Bay sweep the series? Find out next on EA Sports.
Historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. He's Charles Davis. Full disclosure, we both have mittens. We both have coats on up here in the booth. This one, it's going to be interesting.
I've got the long johns, the socks, the boots, you name it. You know me in cold weather, we don't get along all that well. But these games are always interesting because you never know how it's going to play out. One slip, someone's going for 80 yards, and you could lose a game.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers for Jones last week: 15 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
Call it a gain of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And we get a glance. The man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They're going to look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there's no space available, and incompletion as a result.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
Personal foul. Defense.
This is one of the dangers of going for the punt block.
And you know before you even call going for the block, it's a risk-reward play. So many factors come into it. They went after it, and you know punters, what they do? They leave their leg up in the air an extra count or two, hoping someone comes into contact.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end of the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
Now, I guess I need to clarify. I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. And a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal. A loss of 6. And now it's 3rd down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tyler Conklin. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
2nd and 10. Love going to give this one to Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
On 3rd down, Love. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3 and out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. And, Charles, this defense, I have to imagine, kind of licking its chops when you get a chance to face a team that's lost 3 straight.
And my surprise was listening to their head coach in his weekly presser, because normally you and I see guys that get up there and say, everybody's a threat any given Sunday, that sort of thing. But he was asked if this might be a trap game, and he essentially said he didn't see anything to worry about. Now, normally you say that to your team, but you don't tell us. You definitely don't say it to the media.
First down and much more here for Jones. Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones hitting double digits digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
You think about the great running backs in the game today. I don't know if Aaron Jones is a name that comes immediately to mind, but it should, evidenced by that run there.
Now the extra point. Well, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Takes it at the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend of the NFC.
And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Oh, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, he'll try to run with this.
They juked him and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Packers are going to get the football here as he gets this past the 20-yard line. Passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this 1st quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
A Love's throw here on target to Hurst.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Well, these two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the Packers who won that game on the road, so they'll be trying to win the season series here at home in Lambeau.
Jordan Love ready on 1st down here. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown.
That was a really nice job there, stretching.
And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
They'll run on first down. Jones takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith.
That is Tomlinson, who is down. Boy, not what they want to see.
Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
These two teams all tied after one. That's complete to Smith-Marset. 7 yards, the pickup there.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee up from the quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10.
Green Bay's offense ready to go again.
And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the end. To throw. Hard throw. Incomplete.
Got no command that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past him.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Packers with the football here late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Throwing. Love. And this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. 1st down, Love to pass. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where you see the final score there. Matt Ryan leading the way with a couple of touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. The Panthers are ready for the playoffs as they run their mark to 13-2 with one game remaining. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were losers in that one to the visiting L.A. Chargers. Justin Herbert strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half. You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these two coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gott.
Indeed, Coach. Thanks very much. And that snow you alluded to showing no signs of stopping, at least in the foreseeable future. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On play action, they'll throw. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive. It just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. He's able to knock that one away.
He'll look to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert. Fired that one in there, able to make a connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
Well, he does have one touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him first and goal, but you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a second time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Cook. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. A 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll go again to Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
On first down, it's Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Love. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up fourth down. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch,
and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. The offense working with it. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
After review of play, the rules on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
because they're moving him exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. With a football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Love now. Looking for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Love. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. A little costly there. You wipe out the 1st down. You also move further back.
No doubt about it. So you went from moving the sticks to them staying in the same spot, except for that one guy carrying the yard marker. He moves back farther.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed him down on that run.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Packers are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the lead is down to 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Love. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Trey Flowers picks it. There he goes, left side. 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays, but you also have to have good feel as well because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get to the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
The extra point up and good, and that makes this a 9-point game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Come on now, let's go!
Now the Packers get set to go.
We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
Love back to it here after the pick six.
And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
7 yards, the pickup there.
4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. Love looking to throw it. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And the next-gen stat's going to show just how much time he had to make a decision, and it's not much. 3 seconds, the final clocking.
3rd and long for Love.
That's caught right side by Rodgers.
And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. A gain of 6 there on first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A quick throw out right here. He's got it complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't play it in, though, and it's fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And his kick is good. And that will give him a 12-point lead. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Let's go!
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wildcard spots with 2 weeks to go, but you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
From the 35 on second down, Love. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
He'll find Aguara complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. On 1st and 10, Love. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
He's had success running the football, and this is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. Working out of the gun, Love. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. To throw again on second down, Love. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And it's a Packers touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Packers have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
Extra point safely through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. After the touchdown we just saw, new ball game, and now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
So here's Love and the Packers. Down by 5, 1:44 to go.
A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. Love. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. Now down by 5, they've got to go for it here on fourth down. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They run it again with Cook. And he gets it down to the 32. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
On second down, Cook might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Minnesota, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.